Takeoff's untimely death has left his fans at a loss for words. His life was brutally cut short as a result of somebody else's fight. We gotta do better out here. So, is Quavo to blame for his death? Did Takeoff lose his life trying to save his uncle? Or was he outright murdered in cold blood? Let's take a look at the rap superstar's life and untimely death to find answers. Takeoff, a member of the hugely popular rap group Migos, was shot and killed early on November 1st in Houston. This is a tragically common occurrence in hip-hop, where the lives of many of its biggest artists have been brutally cut short. Many people are unaware of the enduring impact Takeoff had on the rap genre, both inside and outside of being in the rap group Migos. In 2008, Migos became a rap group after Kershnik Kari Ball, more popularly known as Takeoff, started rapping with his uncle Quavius Keate Marshall, aka Quavo, and his cousin Kiari Kendrell Cephas, known as Offset. The group's initial name was Polo Club. Quavo and Offset would be at high school football practice while Takeoff would make beats. Versace, the Migos' first hit song, helped make them famous in 2013. Then with the release of Culture, which features one of their most well-known tracks, Bad and Bougie, featuring Lil Uzi Vert, Migos made their major breakthrough. The song peaked at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and was certified platinum and gold for both the single and album. The dizzying drug dealer humor of Versace or Hannah Montana, the zany singles from the Atlanta rap group's groundbreaking 2013 mixtape YRN certainly gave most people their first taste of the Migos. But if you regularly followed hip-hop in those days, your introduction might have been the more somber and determined R.I.P. from the same project, where the group mourned the passing of Free Band's associate OG Double D and lay out what was at risk if their future in rap didn't succeed. They knew the life they've chosen is a dangerous one. The group expressed their concerns about safety and death in their songs, with Quavo opening up about the passing of his father and Takeoff bouncing between grief and bravado before settling on paranoia in his stanzas. Alright, so the Migo who got the group together was the fulcrum on which Quavo's frontman capabilities and Offset's laser focus on impressing you with his command of tough syllables rested. He was the glue holding a song together, and together they had a chemistry that only family can have. Takeoff's ability to record a verse in a single take without any mistakes earned him that iconic nickname. He was the type of rapper who shied away from the limelight until his passing. Instead, he preferred to make his presence known through the kind of lyrical person that, regardless of how one felt about trap music becoming popular, gave Migos undeniable street cred as masterclass hip-hop technicians. So what tore them apart? When Offset was absent from their album Only Built for Infinity Links in May 2022, rumors that the group had broken up began to spread. And when the trio decided not to perform at the Governor's Ball Music Festival in June 2022, rumors got even stronger. The rift between the trio appeared to be all but confirmed when Offset and his wife, Cardi B, unfollowed both Quavo and Takeoff on social media. While there was no official statement, Quavo sort of addressed it in an interview with the Big Facts podcast in October, saying that they come from a loving family where everyone is expected to stick together and work together. But occasionally things just don't work out as planned. Yeah, there is something behind that. And then, just a few days before the premiere of the new documentary series Hip Hop Homicides, which explores the rising violence inside the hip hop scene, Takeoff passed away. So who was responsible for his death? Takeoff and Quavo were celebrating the release of their new song, Messy, which was released on Halloween, just hours before the shooting. The celebration in Houston served as a stop on the duo's promotional tour for their most recent album, Only Built for Infinity Links. It's hardly prophetic, but Takeoff's final Instagram post, a clip from their forthcoming music video, is unsettling. In it, a visibly stressed out Quavo wakes up from a nightmare while sitting next to his nephew in the front seat of a car. Who knew about the nightmare that was going to unfold in front of their eyes in some time? Numerous witnesses and law enforcement agencies revealed that the shooting happened on November 1st, 2022, just after 2:30 a.m., when Takeoff and his uncle Quavo were playing dice at a bowling alley. 5 shots were fired according to a recording of the call to emergency dispatchers. Unverified accounts from witnesses on social media claim that the shooting started as a result of a disagreement over the dice game. Takeoff was reportedly shot in or close to his head, according to a number of witnesses, and was declared dead on the scene. 2 more people were shot and driven to the hospital in private vehicles, while Quavo had no injuries. It was reported that numerous shell casings had been discovered outside the pool hall in the bowling alley. Investigators are working to determine exactly what happened before the shooting and who's to blame for Takeoff's untimely death despite social media versions of the incident. The killer is still at large, and the cause of the death was determined to be a homicide. Recently, a video of Quavo arguing with another group surfaced. Could this be the cause of Takeoff's death? Quavo was reportedly fighting with a different group of men outside the bowling alley moments before the incident happened. Around 2:30 a.m., the Intentions hitmaker can be seen talking to a group of people. Takeoff was behind him as they were arguing, and a few seconds later, gunshots rang out. Everyone in the vicinity was in fear and began to run away from the scene at that moment. Then came a few more gunshots, 10 to be exact, all of which were directed at the crowd. Now, unfortunately, Takeoff was shot close to his head as commotion broke out on the scene. He died despite Quavo and a bystander's efforts to revive him. When the police came, they spoke to locals, including workers, who confirmed that the confrontation occurred during a private party at the location. According to reports, a large group of people gathered around the building's front door. Chaos broke out after an altercation that later turned violent. There was a disagreement, which was the cause of the shooting. Now, onlookers are alleging that the disagreement was that Quavo had some sort of gambling debt which he wasn't paying up to the group he lost to. The argument took a turn for the worse when the other party started shooting. And come on now, we gotta put down these guns, it ain't worth all that. Authorities are asking witnesses to come forward with information about this because many of them had already fled the scene by the time police arrived. So who's to blame? If Takeoff wasn't even part of this fight, why was he shot at? Was it a stray bullet that took his life as he tried to save Quavo? These are all questions we might never get answers to, but one thing is for sure, Quavo cannot be blamed for Takeoff's death. The shooting's aftermath isn't just messy, it also represents a tragedy of monumental significance for the rap community. Photos and videos of Takeoff's dying moments and Quavo's cries for help circulated on Twitter shortly after the incident. Unfortunately, Quavo will have to live with the memory that one of his darkest times was captured on camera for clicks and clout. The way in which death is handled in today's social media-driven world, and specifically the way the death of a black hip-hop celebrity is processed, has become public and soulless. False accusations were flying immediately without any consideration for how Quavo was feeling in a time of grief and loss after just losing his nephew. And honestly, with all the people that were standing around with their cell phones out capturing it on video, put down the cell phones and step in and help out, please. Hip-hop may be the only musical genre to see so many young deaths from violent causes. The death of Takeoff adds yet another name to the long list of gun violence victims in America. The rate at which musicians are passing away and the emotional toll it's taken on their loved ones, friends, and fans cannot be measured. Guns, addiction, and perhaps most tragically, ego and pride all played a role in the deaths of a generation of rap musicians, many of whom never even approached the age of 40. Takeoff had said in a recent interview that he didn't want his death to be the reason people praised him. Instead of having them set above his grave, he preferred to be able to smell his flowers. That's right, y'all, stop waiting until people pass away to give them their flowers. The man was a genius. It's too bad he couldn't see even more of an outpouring of love while he was still alive. Let's do better. Sadly, a mere brawl took the life of a legend. Again, let's do better. On that note, we'll wrap up this video. What do you think was the reason for the fight that led to the shooting? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.